Hello and welcome to Eastern Horizon. This is Malika Yub Sumbul, live broadcast and streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube from Beijing. So, tension between Pakistan and Afghanistan has been increasing over the last several weeks and months. But recently, we saw that there is a high intensity of conflict between both the neighbors. Pakistan claimed Afghanistan as its Western strong border defense, but now I think the situation has been pretty much changed. So while the tension between Pakistan and Afghanistan is continuously increasing, I have joined two distinguished guests who are expert on the Afghanistan affair, one from Pakistan and one from Afghanistan. From Pakistan, I have joined a very high profile name who has been working and have a very strong research on Afghanistan affair, Mr. Tahir Khan, joining me from Islamabad. Thank you very much, Tahir Khan.
Thank you.
From Afghanistan side, we will join Dr. Fazl Hadi Wazen. He is a former professor at the Salam University, but right now he is in Ankara. So he will join us shortly. So meanwhile, we can start. So Tahir Khan, let me go to you. You have been quite focused on Afghanistan affair. So how you see right now that when Kabul has claimed that there are 400 people has been killed into a rehabilitation hospital, but Pakistan have different claims. So how you see this current development?
Thank you for inviting me. I would say this is very dangerous situation. No one was expecting in Pakistan, and no one was expecting the same in Afghanistan. When the Taliban took over in August 2021, so Pakistan was the first country to hand over the embassy in Islamabad to the Taliban. And Pakistan was the first country to convene a special meeting of the Islamic countries' foreign ministers. And also Pakistan formed a group of six immediate neighbors of Afghanistan. And all these measures and these steps, they in fact were to support the new government in Afghanistan. And Pakistan was expecting that after the war was ended in Afghanistan, so the same would happen in Pakistan. There would be no violence, there would be no war, because Pakistanis were expecting the Afghan Taliban will help Pakistan to control these Pakistani groups, which Pakistan has been saying that they are operating from the Afghan side, and the Taliban don't accept Pakistan this narrative. But when Pakistan, there is no doubt that Pakistan was experiencing a very big challenge, because Pakistan now says that it has lost over 3,000 security personnel after the Taliban took control of Afghanistan. So a 60% increase in violence in Pakistan after the Taliban government was formed. So this was in fact the main thing that Pakistan, as I said, that no one was expecting. But Pakistan say this is the time to strike those places which Pakistan thinks are the main problem for Pakistan. But I would say war does not solve the problems. War would further complicate this problem which Pakistan has been facing for years. And the same thing is in Afghanistan. Afghanistan people, Afghans, they faced war for the last 45 years. They need peace. They don't want war. So this is up to the Afghan Taliban now, because Pakistan concern, I would say, are genuine. And this is not only Pakistan now. United Nations, other countries, all are saying the same thing which Pakistan says. But how to deal with this problem? I think Pakistan should not go to war. Pakistan still has the option to use diplomacy, and even if Pakistan thinks that bilaterally it is very difficult, then Pakistan should give importance to what China is doing and what the other countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Qatar are doing. So then listen to them and trust them. So I think they would, as they have now reconciled both, to announce a temporary ceasefire, so they can do much more.
Okay, so let me go back a little behind the history, because when Taliban took over Afghanistan, at that time, the then DGISI of Pakistan, he went
Yes.
to Kabul, and even he was intercepted with one of the journalists where he was taking some tea or coffee into the Serena Hotel in Kabul. So mean that, do you think that is this that Pakistan tried to give an impression to the world that Taliban will listen, and now the situation is a little bit different, that mean Taliban would like to deal to the world by their own, but not through Pakistan. Do you think that this is one of the difference between Pakistan and Afghanistan?
Okay, I will begin from what you said. You mentioned the former Pakistan intelligence chief who was in Kabul, Lieutenant General Fazl. I was also in the hotel.
Okay.
I was also in
You
the
were,
hotel,
you were there.
and
Okay.
we when we entered, so we were there.
Mm-hmm.
But after his meeting with the Taliban leaders, the same issue was one of the issues on the table. That time, the state of Pakistan, the military and the political government, especially the military establishment, they were thinking that the issue would be complicated like Pakistan is facing now. This was the same thinking that time. Because when the Taliban broke all jails, so there were around 2,000 Pakistani militants and some leaders who were in jail, but they came out. There were some leaders. Their videos were viral on the social media, and I think their thinking was true. And I still remember that the ISI, the former ISI chief, met with the Mullah Biradar, who is now the deputy prime minister that time, Shahabuddin Dilawa, because the government was not formed that time. It was 4th of September, and the cabinet was announced on 6th of September. So the Taliban leaders who were available, because all leaders were not in Kabul that time. So those who were available, Pakistan informed them, warned them that this thing can create problem for them. And Pakistan, in fact, this was not only the Pakistani ISI chief. When this visit was made controversial by the media, so then some Taliban accounts said that the CIA chief also visited Kabul. But intelligence chief, they visit very secretly. But unfortunately, this visit was even before he landed in Kabul. The people in Islamabad, they informed some journalists who were very close, maybe to them, that the ISI chief arrived in Kabul on the invitation of the Shura, and he will be holding meeting like. So Pakistan, I think, did a mistake that time to disclose this thing. But the concern was that time that was genuine, and the same situation is now we are facing.
So after these strikes that took place, I mean that the last week, in which Taliban claimed that there was the 400 people died, but according to the Pakistani claims, they said that there was some explosive there, and they have blasted that explosion, and the whole Kabul saw this explosive. So how you think the reaction inside Pakistan after this incident?
There are two things here. One, Pakistani government, the Pakistani military, the Pakistani political government, they still say the same thing, that this was not an hospital. But Afghans, the Taliban, and some media, foreign media who are there, like the BBC Pashto, like you can say Al Jazeera, even New York Times reporter, I heard them. So they think that civilians were also killed. So although their information and their report also based on what the Taliban are telling them, but I think when I have also spoken with people there. So some people say yes, this was an hospital for the drug addicts rehabilitation center, and some of them were killed. There are some controversy about the figures because Taliban say it is now over 400. The foreign media says it is around 100 or over 100. Initially, one report of the BBC Pashto service was saying it was the correspondent counted 30. Even if one civilian is killed, this is very unfortunate. And this is a sad aspect of this Pakistan-Afghan war, that now the civilian would be the victim on both sides. Because we, in Pakistan, on the border region, Pakistan also lost civilians. A few days ago, before this temporary ceasefire, four brothers in Bajawad were killed when one shell from Afghan side landed on their house, and everyone was saying this. Okay, we don't want to only to mention the local authorities. No, I spoke to journalists there, and all were saying so. Civilians, unfortunately, would be the victim in this war, and I think this war, I would say, will not give any results, and it will further complicate the situation and mistrust between the two countries, which already at peak.
So the tension between both countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan, is continuously increasing. But if we will observe the timeline, we see that after Donald Trump mentioned about the Bagram base, after that, I think that we see there is a intensity in in the critical relation between both the countries. So how you see, especially this element that that Pakistan might be interested in making some geostrategical lobbying for United States to get Bagram base?
Pakistan and the US, they are alive, no doubt. But I don't think the Americans would need Pakistan now. Yes, Pakistan was needed during the war, 20 years war. Pakistan was, the US needed Pakistan help when the American decided to hold talks with the Taliban in Qatar. So during the, you would recall that whenever the special envoy, the American special envoy would come to this region, he would prefer Pakistan to come here instead of going to Kabul all the time, because he knew that Pakistan can help him. So Pakistan had importance that time. But now, now war is not, you don't ground forces everywhere. And even during the 2001 American action, so Americans started with firing missiles. Later on, when they toppled the government, so then the Northern Alliance and the American troops were on the ground. But now I don't think that they will be. Yes, there is a strong belief in Afghanistan that Pakistan is doing for the Americans. And some people in Pakistan think the same, that this is the. But whenever we talk to people here in Islamabad, so they don't buy this narrative, this statement. But of course, Pakistan and some people say, and I also agree with them to some extent, that Pakistan cannot act without the consent of the American. I would not say Pakistan has started these attacks on the American behalf, because Pakistan has facing the problem. So Pakistan has facing the problem. That's why. And America, yes, when Pakistan started strikes, someone asked Donald Trump, and he said what Pakistan is doing is right. So in fact, Americans, that President Trump had supported what Pakistan has been doing.
So right now we saw that the Gulf countries, Middle East, and especially the Iran, but the tension between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So how you see in context of, in a larger context, especially when things are going quite critical towards Iran. So Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan. So these three countries, when they have such kind of the issues, so how you see that things could unfold in the near future?
This is very unfortunate that attacks on Iran by the US and Israel, it has diverted the focus to Iran, to the Middle East, and that's why not many countries are focusing now. Yes, Saudi Arabia and Turkey, like yesterday when Pakistan announced the ceasefire and the Taliban also announced ceasefires, both mentioned Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and also also Qatar. So it means they have played a role. But the main focus is still there, because yesterday there were attacks on Iraq, on Qatar, and the focus is now on Qatar. The focus is on Iran. So I would say if this situation continues, then it would be disaster for Pakistan and Afghanistan. I already said that Pakistan cannot achieve what Pakistan wants to achieve through this use of force. You would recall that this was the Taliban government which hosted Pakistani groups and the Pakistani state during the government of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. So, and even today, the Afghan Taliban said they are ready. If Pakistan wants their role, so they are ready to do the same when they had done in 2022. So, but Pakistan say no talks with them now, and we will fight these groups, the TTP and other groups. So when you fight them, they will also fight you. And when they fight you, there is violence, there will be war between Pakistan and Afghanistan, because Pakistan policy now is that if there is a major attack inside Pakistan, they would retaliate in Afghanistan. So this is a new way, and I would say this is not good for both countries.
So, do you think that any reaction from Afghanistan or Taliban can expected because after this attack? Because currently we saw that there is some GCC countries said that there is some pause of our ceasefire due to the Eid festival and after this Ramadan. So, do you think that after Eid, is there any kind of the reaction expected?
Pakistan Information Minister, when he announced the temporary Eid truce, so he mentioned that this will end on between the night of March 23rd and 24th. So it means Pakistan still has something in mind. We don't know what will happen after their death, maybe because, but this is good. This is in a foundation for a major reconciliation or a ceasefire. So now, in fact, this is also because Pakistan says the Afghan Taliban would give a written guarantee that there would be no violence, that they would control the Pakistani groups, they will take action them, they will disarm them, they will stop them from crossing the border. And Afghan Taliban say we cannot ensure security inside Pakistan because they say we cannot ensure security in Kabul, in other countries. So how can we ensure? This is a clash of opinion. Kabul and Pakistan, total different opinion. But this is also a challenge for the friendly country, for the mediator. But I think they would keep on trying that this ceasefire should be extended. So they would try, but mainly depend on Pakistan and Afghan Taliban government, how they address to each other concern.
So, how you see the Indian factor in this? Because we saw that in the last few months there was some high-profile visits from the Afghan delegates to India, and even in the previous government, India had a quite, that big leverage inside Afghanistan because they had at that time also very good relation. But right now, again, how you see that the Indian factor, and especially how Pakistan will tackle, that the Indian influence inside Afghanistan.
India is the only country which issued two statements to criticize Pakistan action in Afghanistan, and Pakistan rejected their because Pakistan say, and you will recall that India attacked Pakistan, and Pakistan retaliated. There was a war, but then President Trump and his administration they tried to reconcile, and they did. They encouraged both to have a ceasefire. So India, I would say, of course, when there's a war, India would definitely would be happy, and through this approach, they will try to further close to the Taliban. And I would say, you said influence. When Pakistan is in a war with the Afghanistan Taliban government, then I think India would try to go further into Afghanistan. And because I have heard even from some Indian journalists that this was India wish that there should be mistrust between Pakistan and the Taliban government. It is not because of the wish that India wanted and this happened, but I told you Pakistan changed the policy for the strategic restraint policy towards Afghanistan. It was Pakistan long-standing policy, but it is changed. Previously, we Pakistani would listen that Pakistan tries that when there is a problem in along eastern border, so there should be a peace on along the western border. But now both Pakistan faces problem from both the border region. So things are changed, and when Pakistan is losing space or shrinking their space, reducing their space, decreasing their space in Afghanistan, definitely India and others will try to overcome that. I could not, I cannot.
Yeah,
I think your mic is.
Sorry. My last question is this: that how you see that the next few months and few weeks, the relation between Taliban and Pakistan. So do you think any mediation, or do you think that things could be worse?
China is trying, and the Chinese foreign minister last week himself he confirmed that the country's special envoy he's shuttling between Islamabad and Kabul, and he was right because the Chinese special envoy in the past he would come either to Islamabad or to Kabul for 1 day visit, but he remained here for more than 1 week because he went first to Kabul, then came here, then again went there. So, but unfortunately, Pakistan and Afghanistan they are still on their old stance. So this is the problem that things are not moving ahead, and still tension is there. In Saudi Arabia, we spoke, and about Turkey, about Qatar role, but the problem is solution is with Pakistan and with the Taliban government. And I told you, neither Afghans need war nor Pakistan wants war. So this is up to them. If they solve the problem, well and good. If they follow the same way, the war, it will damage and it will harm both Pakistan and Afghanistan. So we can hope only that there would be a thinking that war is no solution. Diplomacy is still there. Pakistan embassy opens in Afghanistan, in Kabul. Afghan embassy functions in Islamabad. So diplomatic channels are still not broken. They should use those channels bilaterally, and if they cannot, then they should empower. They should give powers to the friendly country, and they can solve the problem.
Thank you very much, Tahir Khan, for your really deep insight. I really regret and really sorry that Dr. Fazl, Hadi, and Wazen did not join us. Otherwise, this discussion will be very interesting. But we will do another round because we will definitely listen from the Afghanistan side that what is their viewpoint, and we will do another live streaming in the same week or maybe after a few days. So thank you very much, Tahir Khan, for joining. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.